morning, and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor. It is What the Fuck Wednesday, December 11th. And even though it's What the Fuck Wednesday, I'm going to lead us off with a little bit of serious news. The articles of impeachment have been drafted. So
yes, well, we have to talk about that. Plus, some users submitted that, right?
That's right. A couple listeners chimed in on that. Want to get our takes on that.
It counts.
So it does count. Yeah. So it's odd for a serious story, but not all the time. And also, some listeners
Will's
submitted
Burner submitted that.
But that's right. But that's the beauty of What the Fuck Wednesday is. It's obviously going to have some silly stories, but it also might have some real news.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. Especially a big story like this.
Great
and then
day.
Mark, Pat, and Wes will lead us through a lightning round of listener-submitted headlines for our regularly scheduled What the Fuck Wednesday content. So, all right, let's get going with the articles of impeachment. Like I said before, I know it's What the Fuck Wednesday. We try to keep it light, but it's not every day that the President of the United States has formal impeachment articles drawn and ratified against him.
No, it's like 4 days in the history of the world.
Yeah, it's crazy. So drawn and ratified. You're gonna have to
Well,
do a
not
lot of
ratified, like as in like drafted, and they're going to put it forward to the Judiciary Committee.
Okay, cool.
So they like sorry, ratified's not the right word, but they were drawn and released so that the public could see them.
We're completely fucked on the Predictit bet, right?
Yeah, we're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's about 84 cents on yes in 2019 now, and I'd say that's about likely. Like, unless it hits a huge snag somehow in the process it's about to come up, it's really going to probably move through before the end of the year because the Democrats want to get it done. And it's only 2 articles. So
just 2.
Just 2.
Utah.
So, Pat, I know you were hoping for the 3rd, Pat, but no, it's just the 2.
Well, you still have till March.
But Pat predicted 2.
Well, I said I said no. 2 was the lock.
You said if you're ballsy.
If you ballsy, you get in on the 3.
Yeah, 3 was the long shot. 2 was so 2 is what ended up happening. Article 1 of 2 is simple: abuse of power. And so this is the major article. The article contends that Trump and or his representatives schemed to interfere in the 2020 presidential election by presenting Ukraine with a quid pro quo of not receiving meetings and aid money if they did not complete an investigation into the Bidens and potential Ukraine election meddling against Trump in 2016.
Yeah.
So that's the major one right
treat
there.
that power bad.
That's what started the whole inquiry.
That's dirty little power, isn't it?
So that's like what started the whole inquiry. That's what they came up with as abuse of power.
It's the whole thing right
Pro
there.
quo.
Right.
The whole thing is right there in the first article.
Yep.
And although the alleged quid pro quo could never be enacted because Ukraine has received the aid money that was in question, and the Ukrainian president denied ever being presented with a quid pro quo, so it couldn't have really come to pass. Article 1 contends that only because of the impeachment inquiry did Trump give up on the quid pro quo, and that this is a betrayal of his office and the Constitution and national security and everything else, and that he would continue or will continue to betray his office as long as he is employed as the president. So that's why they need to impeach.
Okay.
And then Article 2 is basically just obstruction of Congress, saying you made it hard for us to do this whole process. So
Right.
that's the impeachment.
All right.
And Article 2 would have been Article 2 if they had Article 3, which would have been the Mueller report, and then he kind of obstructed that type thing. He just made it hard for. He never really committed.
Apparently,
he always wanted to commit the crimes and like talked about the crimes and probably didn't actually commit the crimes, but then he also covered up the crimes both times.
Nadler, right. And Nadler was pushing for obstruction of justice, which was the third that they were wanting.
Which is very similar to obstruction of Congress.
And what Pelosi came out today and she like threw a bone at Trump too with the trade thing.
Yeah, exactly. Says these are the key reactions. So that's articles 1 and 2. Very simple, a lot more simple than a lot of people were thinking. Now let's go to the key reactions. So here's Trump, Donald J. Trump on Twitter. He just goes, Nadler just said that I, quote, pressured Ukraine to interfere in our 2020 election, unquote, ridiculous. And he knows that is not true. Both the president and foreign minister of Ukraine said many times that there was no pressure, all caps. Nadler
After
and
I
the
pressured
Dems.
them.
Exactly. Nadler and the Dems know this, but refuse to acknowledge. And then immediately after, all caps, witch hunt. So that was how Trump responded to the this being laid down. He also followed up, Pat, to get to your point, by saying that Congress only approved the USMCA finally a year after a year after he'd been waiting to be approved in the House, because they also got their impeachment articles going through as well. So he said that in a verbal interview.
Yeah, that was a political move in politics, if you ask me.
This whole thing was a scam to screw us.
It's all
out of
political
$200
move in
each, 'cause
politics.
Nothing's going to happen out of this. He's going to get impeached, and
Right.
then he's going to get completely not removed.
No, yeah, exactly. So and not and Pat,
And I'm
this is a great
brokered.
point. Great point about this is a political move in politics, because what Trump is accusing Pelosi of is approving the USMCA, but also impeaching him so that she's saving face politically. But I mean, that's just the pot calling the kettle black, because Trump is constantly trying to play the spin doctor
I got
too.
real
so.
pissed off yesterday morning when they were doing their press conference on Twitter, and it was Pelosi and the rest of her crew, and they were laughing. Like they were having a good laugh, like a hearty laugh right before they announced the articles of impeachment. I was just like show some fucking
Look,
dignity,
I mean,
motherfucker.
they
Right.
Pelosi kind of had to. I mean, she backed the party, and they went for it. So you can't really,
I
like
get
you
it.
said,
I get it.
What was she going to do? Not
No.
Were they going to not impeach her?
I'm not angry with what she did. I'm just like, you show some fucking tact. Don't be laughing up there.
It's politics.
Well, you're dropping these articles of impeachment. Like, this is serious. Our country's fucked up.
Well, sure, it's serious, but I think they also know that there's no serious chance for them to be, for the trial for Trump to be convicted.
And I was listening to this shit this morning on the way to dropping the kid off, and I was listening to this Schiff, and his whole thing was the president didn't obey his oath. We must obey our oath. I don't think that if they had the fucking majority and knew that they could pass these, they would be bothering with this shit. I think if they knew they had no chance to impeach him in the House, they wouldn't have fucking bothered with this.
Well, they have control of the House.
I know, so I'm saying.
Honestly,
all this oath shit, I don't think it would have existed if they didn't have the
best
majority.
chance
Right.
for Trump to be removed from office is if he goes completely off the rails just for being impeached,
Right.
And attacks a staffer.
Well,
Yeah, I just don't think it's going to happen
No.
possible to happen at this point over the issues that they have drawn impeachment articles for.
I do want to say one thing.
So.
Stickers are going out tomorrow. I was looking at a lot of
Yeah.
addresses.
There you go.
We have lots of Canadian listeners, and I was just thinking about our Canadian listeners today, thinking about how great is this for them? Because this impeachment shit is
I
going
feel
to
good for
fire Trump up. It's going to be like the best show on earth if you're not an American. Watching from afar.
Canada's had
I mean-
a tough political year too. This is one for them to have
just
a,
sit
have a
back
good,
and watch,
have a
kick
good
your
laugh
feet
at.
up.
Yeah.
Well, this is one
Enjoy
for
being
the whole
Canadian.
world.
Yeah.
The whole world is just watching us be ultra partisan. So let's get to other reactions, because there's a lot more to get through. Bill Clinton, he reacted, the last guy that this happened to, he reacted saying this about impeachment, quote, "They're going to do their job as they see it, and we should wait to see it unfold." That's what he was saying about Congress.
That's pretty good.
So,
That's pretty good, Bill.
He's got
That-
On their job.
I just asked Wes off camera if he could do a Bill Clinton.
No, not really that way.
and speaking of Clinton, he and Trump now appear to be ready to share the same fate, like you guys were talking about. Impeached on Christmas or right before Christmas, but eventually forgiven by their Senate. And Clinton even avoided conviction with a Republican Senate. It was also his second term, not his first term. So, of the other impeachments, of course, there was Nixon, who resigned because he was facing impeachment with the Democratic House and Senate, so he knew he'd be removed.
You got to get out of there, Nixon.
Yep, but the two other guys to get impeached, James Buchanan in 1860 and Andrew Johnson in 1868, were also saved by their senators, but funny enough, they were both impeached by their own party, so a house of their own party. So that was also during the Civil War, and so if anything, the trend is actually that they're getting more partisan, right? Because the Clinton one was more partisan, and then now this one is the most partisan.
The trend here seems to be like impeachment is just a crock of shit.
Seems.
Yeah, basically, and unless you have both, unless you have the supermajority, or not supermajority, but both the House and the Senate, so that you can get the
They
president
impeached Bill
removed,
Clinton
for
about
sure.
lying about getting a blowjob.
The lesson I've learned here is if you're exactly
Right, but they didn't convict
hey,
him.
fuck Christmas,
Exactly.
right? The lesson I learned here is that if you're guilty as sin, like Nixon, you get out before the fucking show goes on for 6
No.
months and the
Then
impeachment.
you got a pardon.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
you don't let it get to impeachment. You just quit.
Bill Clinton and Trump getting a lot more in common
Maybe.
these days. Buddies with
I think-
Epstein, love McDonald's, going to get impeached.
I think Clinton's the
Hey,
only
Hillary.
one. Nixon is the only one, Mark, who had to stand up against a House and a Senate that were both against. Actually, Clinton did. But Clinton, I guess, just felt like enough senators were going to side with him that he wouldn't be removed.
Yeah, but Nixon
over
also
a
was like on
blowjob.
tape, like get all the
Right.
information. Like
Nixon was
caught
red-handed in
red-handed.
the hotel, right? Watergate. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah,
All
And
right,
it was
taking
back
it-
when you barely had recordings. Like, what an idiot.
My buddy's
Right.
grandpa was one of the guys that broke in there. Crazy.
yeah.
Bend over, Cassidy.
No, fuck you.
All right.
First guy to get caught like red-handed.
Yeah, my
on
buddy's
tape.
grandfather is my
Whatever.
second cousin from. Okay.
Whatever.
All right, taking it to the internet. Listener Tommy Bottles, he tweeted at us about Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says that the Senate will not begin impeachment trial vote or USMCA trade deal until next year, 2020. And that's right, Tommy. The Senate is not going to do anything with this until 2020. Cocaine Mitch proposes after the bowl games they'll get started, but that doesn't have anything to do with the House.
He
and
did
the
not say
House
after the bowl
Judiciary
games.
Committee.
Did he say
M-
after the
Mitch
bowl
did say
That's
after
a
the bowl
man who
games.
appreciates what Americans want and love and won't fuck with it.
Tommy, this
Yeah.
is why we're around. Impeachment has nothing to do with the Senate. The Senate removes. They don't impeach. Impeachment
Right,
goes through the
exactly.
House.
Yeah, exactly. So people were thinking that may affect the lines on Predictit. No, it does not.
No.
The next things to happen in the House, where it still has to go through for impeachment to be ratified, is it Wednesday at 7 p.m. The Judiciary Committees will meet, and the members will have an opportunity to make opening statements. And then Thursday at 9 a.m., the committee is going to start considering amendments to the impeachment. And there's no time on when that'll end, but if that starts Thursday, then eventually there's going to be a vote before Christmas, and they will go through because it seems like the Democrats are just going to go through with it. And now the next comment from one of the listeners is from Rando Man Savage, who said, "You guys are closing your eyes on the 17 significant inaccuracies and omissions in the FISA application while staying all in on the impeachment bullshit," basically calling us snowflake cucks. And no Random Man Savage, great name, by the way, but you also mysteriously deleted your tweet. But as I mentioned
Macho Man would
yesterday,
never delete a tweet, by the way.
Rando
you
Man,
you pussy.
Random Man Savage should be our biggest fan, no matter what we say with that name.
Macho Man stands by his tweets.
It's
asshole.
fucking bullshit. First off, and second
Yeah.
of all, he's completely wrong with what he said about us.
that's right, because we did mention it yesterday and then again today. What he's talking about is this Inspector General report from Michael Horowitz, the Inspector General, where basically he concluded the Russia investigation, in his opinion, started properly at the FBI, but they didn't cross all their T's and dot all their lowercase J's when it came to tapping all of Trump's shit in the Russia investigation. And Attorney General Bill Barr is furious about that. So he's basically calling the FBI incompetent, saying how they could possibly, fuck up the Russia investigation that bad. And then also, how come the FBI never went to the Trumps and said, hey, Russia's trying to meddle with you, right? So AG Trump, it just is another feather in the cap to their argument in the Senate about why they needed to investigate the start of the Russia investigation, right? So it's just that's going to be good for Trump going into the Senate trial.
We should get Bill Barr versus Comey in a celebrity boxing match.
You want to see some heart
James
attacks?
Comey,
Tommy's got
Splendid Splinter versus the Bulldog.
Yeah, want to see a couple old white men die in the ring?
Yeah, that's what probably would happen.
taking Barr in that one.
Yeah, Barr's got the power.
Yeah.
I got
Comey's
Comey.
got the reach.
I got Comey if he dances.
Yeah.
But, all right.
And of course, this brings us all to Predictit. Based on that description, I think you can load up on yes impeachment wherever you think it's going to happen and no on removal. You can also load up on Boris Johnson to win PM of the UK again.
We should just
All
say,
those
in
are
this fucking
favorites.
Market, we suck so bad.
Look, I'm going to stop you. Well, we've been stopping you a lot. It's a long segment, and you're doing a great job. We had a 20-minute conversation with Star Spangled Gamblers. He's coming on tomorrow night. He's going to give us some winners.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Very good. But yeah, right now I'm basically taking the favorites, so it's not great bets anyways. But you should go to predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20 to get your first $20 matched if you want to bet on the stock market and politics with us. And shout out Star Spangled Gambler. He's coming on later this week to discuss some
No
more.
bullshit.
He's coming on tomorrow. He's coming on for the debates, and he's reoccurring. And we said he's got a leash of he can get 3 wrong in a row, and then we'll pull him.
I made a cool 300.
He said he's never lost a mention market. He's 100% on mention markets in the debates.
Not bad.
Wow.
I made a cool 300 yesterday taking candy from a baby. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, take us to the lightning round, guys.
All right, guys. Ooh. Yeah.
Great job, Will.
That was great.
All right,
Great job, Will. Great job.
Yeah, it was.
No,
The first story of the lightning round, the second story of the night is impeachment.
Oh,
no,
God,
it's not.
no.
All right, guys, I'll lead off the listeners submitted what the fuck
You know I'm
Wednesday
out of
funny
Prozac.
stories from a submission from at Nikkei.
I think it's Nick A. Nicky.
Hey, Nikkei. And I'm going to say it. We have a late arrival for cutest thing of the year that is giving Baby Yoda a run for its money.
Okay.
You like that, Wes?
It could be just anything.
Yeah.
You're not a
Wes
Baby
is
Yoda
the only
guy.
person that hates Baby Yoda in the world.
Nah, I'm not.
Do you guys like Baby Yoda?
I
right?
never really saw Star Wars in the first place.
Yeah.
But have you seen the fucking Baby Yoda?
I don't fucking care. I don't
Okay,
care.
well, fuck Pat West.
So it's cute.
You don't know
Okay, we
about
get it.
Baby Yoda?
I know
We
people
get
want
it.
to
It's a
breastfeed
cute
it.
little fucking Muppet.
It's the cutest
Half
thing.
the show doesn't know about Baby
no,
Yoda.
Muppet dog.
Well, it's the
I
cute-
know, but I'm insulting it by calling it a Muppet.
Man.
It's from Jim Henson's studio. though.
Both of you shut the fuck up.
All right.
It's the
Wow.
cutest thing I've ever seen in the world. Will knows. Well, this isn't CGI, it's real. And it's pigeons wearing
Like,
tiny cowboy
Kick that
hats.
fucker. Oh, shit.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
This is
Much
pretty
better
this
than
is
Yoda.
pretty cute.
I've been seeing this
Shout
on the
out,
internet.
a shout out listener Lauren Thompson too. She sent like 3 different links with
Okay,
different
Lauren
stories.
Thompson and A. Nick A.
I got a lot of questions about this one. A
All
lot,
right,
a
we're
lot of
talking
questions.
over each other a lot, so let's just chill out. So someone in Las Vegas, sorry, Pat, have been putting
excited.
tiny cowboy hats on pigeons, and people have been spotting them and taking pictures and videos, and it's the best. I think maybe Mike Tyson, because he's doing like the one-man show in Vegas, and he's a notorious pigeon owner. I don't know.
So you're talking specifically little cowboy hats
Yep.
Little cowboy
Little
On a
red,
bird.
little red cowboy hats.
on a flying bird.
on pigeons.
They all
Okay.
red, right?
Yes.
Could it be a MAGA guy?
No, they don't. Have
No,
anything-
it's like a
Get
cowboy
off
style
it,
though.
Wes.
Yeah.
He's just seen the fucking
So
ridiculous look.
that's a good
Pat
question.
just gave
Why
me.
are they doing it? Rob,
How do you catch a bird? That's my question.
well, a lot of people own pigeons. They're in cages. Like they're like they're small
You don't
cages.
glue a hat to a pigeon that you own.
Well, you're like
Well, you also feed them. You could feed them and then get them used to you, and then you could grab
Then
them
you
and put a
glue
hat on them.
to them.
you could
Yeah,
throw
just like
them. I mean,
it looks like they.
if you
It looks
throw
like they
pigeons
just
to-
slipped the hat
put,
around
like,
its head.
Fucking Dramamine
People
in
put
it.
tiger stripes and shit on their dogs. They'll put hats on pigeons.
Okay.
I guarantee you, we could do this.
You think we could glue
Yeah.
a hat on a pigeon?
But let's get back
Bet
to
you couldn't. Will could.
let's get back to why are they doing it. Robert Lee of Vegas.
I'm
resident
confident
thinks
I
it's
could, yeah.
because the rodeo's in town.
Okay.
Right? So he says, that's the only explanation I have. I saw something red on pigeons' heads and looked down to see these awesome things.
Yeah, they are awesome.
And I mean, like, what marketing for the rodeo? Pigeons and tiny cowboy hats equals admission to the rodeo 10 out of 10 times for me. Like, that's a guarantee. If that's like the fucking marketing for the rodeo, I'm there.
They are
All
really
the pigeons have cowboy hats.
Yeah, guarantee pigeons with cowboy hats, and I'm there. Not everyone's excited, as excited as Robert and me, though, as some party poopers are saying, well, how are they staying on their heads? Like, Pat,
That's what I'm
is it super glue? Does it make them easy prey to predators? Well, of course it does, because they're fucking pigeons.
No, I think it's just a nylon string.
Yeah.
No, there's no way it's just a strap that's keeping a hat on a pigeon's
Yeah.
head, dog.
Look
no
at the
way.
picture.
Look, if the first thought...
You guys are missing the whole
yeah,
fucking
you're
point.
missing the point. If the first thought after seeing these pigeons is this wrong for the pigeons, then I got news for you. You're boring.
Yeah.
You're boring. You suck. You're boring.
Okay, whatever.
All right, here I got to wrap this up. I've got a few puns. Wyatt Chirp,
Okay.
right?
Nice.
Billy the Pigeon,
Okay.
Annie Oatley. I think they eat wheat or oats. I don't know.
Oats. I don't know.
They're not
I'm sure they would.
Well,
I
small
think
oats.
pigeons eat trash off the
All right,
ground.
last one. Flock Holiday.
I like that one.
That's a
Holiday's
good
good.
one.
All right.
Flock Holiday's great.
All right, guys. This one's also from our boy Nicky, who's inside of our fucking
Why
head.
did you pick the same person?
Because
as me?
he's a pro. He's a
All right,
longtime
all right.
listener to the show.
But Mark's was also from Laura Thompson, so Laura Thompson, you get credit for the pigeons.
There you go.
Hey, Nick A, you get this next one.
All right, guys. It seemed like 27-year-old Rossi Lothario Adams II of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, had everything an aging bro could want. He had a degree from Iowa State University. He had the nickname Polo, and he had a burgeoning college lifestyle brand and media empire called State Snaps, centered around his catchphrase, #DoItForState, which included a website and social media accounts by the same name, Do It For State. Adams,
It's a dangerous name.
a.k.a. Polo, he grew state snaps and the #DoItForState brand while he was in college back in 2014 and 2015 by filming his signature move and posting the videos on the internet. Here's what he'd do. He'd jam his face in between the ass cheeks of a bikini-clad co-ed pooper, and then he'd pour a beer from the top of the crack of her ass and then he'd drink it out of the bottom of the crack of her ass. And this guy really got his face in there, like just.
Did he scream "do it for state" afterwards?
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point.
This is an elaborate scheme.
He would
So he could do this like legally and.
He would create an airtight seal, though, so he could funnel efficiently out of the women's ass cracks. It was horrible. Anyway, after about 7 or 80 ass chuck videos, hashtag Do It For State was really...
He got 70 or 80 girls
easy,
to do this?
bro.
He got 70 or 80 girls.
It was his move. It was his move.
Do it for state.
He would get down on his knees, like, give me that ass. I got this beer.
Oh.
Yeah, he would get most of the beer in his mouth, too. Anyway, after 70 or 80 ass chuck videos, hashtag Do It For State was really picking up steam, y'all. College bros thirsty for ass of their own at universities all across the country were yelling, "Do it for state!" when they cracked beers on their Instagrams. And Polo even started a State Snaps college takeover tour with the innovative Anonymous Nights. Everyone's in a mask, which is great for date rape. That was on the flyer. Everyone's in a mask. Anonymous Nights coming to a college near
As
you.
opposed to when you're in a bikini getting chugged without a mask.
Exactly.
This time you're in a mask.
No, I don't know if these ladies were consenting or not, but he was chugging beers out of their asses. Polo was like the Crow was here, but with chronic pink eye. You guys know Crow was here? It seemed nothing could stop him. But Polo knew there was one thing standing in the way of Do It For State being yelled at the crack of every beer around the world and Midwest mediocrity. See, Polo had hosted his site, State Snaps Empire, at doitforstate.com with the numeral 4. But through his meteoric rise, someone else held the rights to Do It For State with the 4 spelled out.
Much better domain name.
I know.
Much better
You see the
domain name.
problem?
Yeah, way better.
You see the problem he was facing here?
Yeah, he needed that domain.
Yeah, there was
Yeah, this was the only thing in this guy's way, I'm sure.
exactly right. There was no way that
He had the cracks.
exactly. Yeah. He was sucking beers out of chicks' asses. There was no way the Do It For State brand could dominate the world with such potential brand confusion out there. The only problem was someone else owned Do It For State, and that guy was not selling. For years, Polo had tried to repeatedly buy the domain name from the monopoly domain name Baron, but the owner was stubborn, demanding almost $20,000 for the FOR spelling of Do It For State.
That's a lot.
A lot of cash, right?
Should have been $100.
I know. This did not please Polo.
Yeah.
He had to let the domain name nerd that he was about to get serious, and he did so by texting him gun emojis. When that didn't work.
Get between a man and his ass chugging.
When that didn't work, Polo ramped things up a notch, and in 2017, he enlisted his convicted felon cousin who lived in a homeless shelter to settle this internet score once and for all. So Polo and his cousin, Sherman Hopkins Jr., rolled over to the nerdy domain names holder's house, and Polo sent the cousin in wearing pantyhose on his face and armed...
See-through pantyhose.
Yeah, exactly. Armed with a gun, a stolen taser, and a letter with domain name transfer instructions.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Once at his computer...
In case you don't know how to do it.
Get in there.
Let me help you.
Get in there, Sherman.
By the way, this isn't the guy that sent you gun emojis.
Yeah, no, it totally was.
Yeah.
So once he got in there, the computer domain name nerd wasn't moving quick enough for Hopkins, so Hopkins began pistol whipping him to speed him up. And fearing for his life and his GoDaddy password, the victim somehow managed to wrestle the pistol away from Hopkins, but not before taking a round to the leg. He got shot in the leg.
He got shot in the leg.
Big time.
Do It For State spelled out, got shot in the leg.
Big time. Big time. Bet he wishes he sold that domain. But once he gained control of the gun, he shot Hopkins about 7 times in the chest.
Oh. Well, he killed him.
Killing him.
Holy
shit.
Jesus,
Yeah.
Pat.
He then called law enforcement with his domain name safely in his GoDaddy account. Didn't get transferred.
Jesus. Do It For State just got a billion followers.
And guys, that was the day the wheels of the Do It For State wagon grinded to a halt. A sad day.
Whoa.
But it's a good thing for Polo that he likes the taste of ass, because he'll be spending the next 168 months in a state penitentiary.
Yeah, really.
Jesus.
But I invite all of our
The
listeners.
guy had it all.
I encourage all of our listeners to go to doitforstate.com
Talk about a greedy motherfucker.
and watch this guy suck beers out of bikini-clad chicks' asses.
Well, I wish the show was over. I want to watch it right now.
He flew too close to the sun.
He did.
That's crazy.
Icarus, or what was the?
What a tale.
You get that one?
Daedalus, the dad. Icarus.
Daedalus was the dad. Icarus
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
kid, right?
Yeah.
What a
All
tale.
right. That was
What
fun.
could have been?
All right, this one comes from our buddy Charles. Thanks for the continued support, Charles. So, guys, nowadays in the YouTube
Well, he
area,
only supports a few of us.
yeah. Nowadays in the YouTube era, with everyone trying to become a viral sensation, whether it be gender reveals or pranks or extravagant proposals, one man decided he had the formula for a surefire viral video combining a prank and a proposal, and it worked. Ray Giuliano really wanted to wow his girlfriend, guys, so he wanted to propose to her in a way that nobody else had ever done before, by making her think she was going to die in an armed robbery and then getting down on one knee to propose to her while she was in hysterics.
That's how you get a yes.
Yep, and that's what he did. When he staged an armed robbery at a convenience store in Erie County, New York. So you have to watch the video. It's fucking phenomenal. What happens is Ray, the store owner, and I presume some actor that Ray hired to rob the store are all in on this thing. So the couple's in the store shopping and witness the robbery at gunpoint. Then the robber re-enters the store, forces the couple to the back of the store and onto the ground. And by this point, the woman is freaking the fuck out, like hysterical. Like the robber then asks, "Hey, is that your girl?" And then Ray says, "Yeah." And then the robber says, "I don't see a ring on her finger." And the girl is like head down. Like the guy who's in is like consoling her, like not knowing what the fuck to do. And he then reaches in.
He's lucky she didn't have a fucking piece.
Oh yeah, I mean no shit. The robber then reaches into his pocket as the woman is crying, "Oh, please no, please no," like thinking that she's going to fucking die or her boyfriend's going to get shot. It's ridiculous. Then the robber hands this idiot the ring and he proposes to his girlfriend while she's like just fucking bawling her eyes out.
Is her mother dead?
What's that?
Is her mother? There's no way her mother's alive with that marriage proposal.
Oh,
There's no way you're taking a mother-in-law into your life after doing that marriage proposal.
That's
right
a
there.
good point. I was confused until you just finished the sentence.
You think about that shit.
I was going to say, well, Mark's point about good thing she wasn't packing. If you get killed by your girlfriend because you don't know she carries a gun, that's on you.
Well, no, it would have been the robber.
That's true. It was the friend, obviously, but
Right.
the friend would have to just take it, and then they'd still probably get married.
But it's on. Well, it's still on the guy.
Self-defense, and
It's
she
still
still
on the
gets
guy.
married
The
after he
friend.
gets
The
out in
friend
3
would have
years.
been right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like, that's also kind of like manipulation. Like, she's willing to do anything at that point when she realizes she's not getting.
Oh
killed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is she way hotter than him? Is that what it is?
No, I don't think so.
Shocking her into marriage,
But it was
into accepting it.
the robber.
But if you have a way hotter girlfriend, this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, the robber was asking like if she had kids, like really drive the fear of death and losing her life.
He's method actor.
Yeah. So
She's like, only 2 abortions I haven't told him about.
Oh shit!
So she then accepts the proposal, happy story, and tells her boyfriend she's going to kill him for this. The groom says in retrospect it was a very bad idea and later gave her a more romantic proposal in Central Park after Giuliano
By
apologized.
fake drowning her.
Yeah, several thousand times.
Come here.
What?
I mean, I think it's fucking great. I love pranks. I love scare
you
tactics. I think this is fantastic.
Unmarried Wes.
You should
Yeah.
try that.
Getting
Wes.
ideas.
Yeah, try it. Do it on your first proposal.
That's why they call him unmarried Wes. Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, guys, they now have a wedding to plan. You know what can help you get in great shape for your big day? That's right, Noom. What if you could use one program for all your health and weight loss needs? I'm ignoring the not married comments. No more hunting for training apps, workouts, or calorie trackers and meal plans. Plus, add a goal specialist and a community of members to keep you motivated and accountable. And it's like a workout bestie all in one place. Noom helps with better self-care, feeling confident in clothing, more energy, and just an overall glow. I have personally had several people come up to me and compliment me on my glow, so it's really working. I'm also
After one day in the gym, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm also able to make more healthy choices. I'm in a better mood. My stress and anxiety is down. I don't yell at my dogs or kid as much. My dogs and kid love Noom. So go out again. Don't stay home because you don't want to be tempted. Learn to resist temptations. Be comfortable in social environments. Trust your ability to make good choices. And the app is as easy to use as iTunes. If you can use iTunes, you can use Noom. It's that easy. So form a new relationship with food. You don't have to eat it just because it's in front of you. Noom is a habit-changing solution that helps users learn to develop new relationships with food, personal courses, and there's no shaming. We're all strapped for time. We do this podcast at 2 a.m. every day for you, the listeners. We know this. We know time is precious. Noom takes
Damn
just
right we
10 minutes a day to commit to. So do it for yourself. Do it for your family, your partner, your cats. You're human. If you go off track, no shaming like my mom does when I go home for the holidays. You don't have to change it all in one day. Small steps make big progress. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com/hardfactor. What do you have to lose? Visit Noom.com/hardfactor to start your trial today. That's Noom.com/hardfactor. The last weight loss program you'll need.
That was the best reading Wes has ever done.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was Micro Machines. You weren't on fast forward. We're hard on time. But I wanted to do the best story I'd ever read in my life, submitted by listener Jake Wilmon, about a pilot who blew a .48 that dumped 4 tons of liquid shit over the wrong town, causing car accidents and ruining an outdoor wedding. But it seemed way too good to be true the more I read.
Wait, what was the right town to dump liquid shit on?
I don't know. Well, he turned the wrong direction.
Okay.
He was crop dusting or whatever. But
Yeah,
a .5
yeah,
was the first tip off.
.5 flying a plane and dumping shit out of the sky.
When he was on the ground, so like that was like an hour
I
after
hope
he
I
landed.
dumped this shit in the right place.
Anyways, turns out that story was fake, so thanks a lot. So instead, I'll do a story submitted by Gavin Hellman, who is either less gullible or less mean than Jake. Less than Jake, anyone? So a raccoon got drunk and was stumbling around a Christmas market and then passed out this Saturday in Germany. Sounds like what everyone does at a German Christmas market. Am I right? Like,
Yeah, right? You eat sauerkraut and sausages, and then you get way too drunk.
Have you guys seen those things? Have you? No one's been there, right? But like, I'd love to go there. They look amazing. They may have tried to take over the world twice, but Jesus, they do Christmas right. It starts. In, like,
I've not seen a Christmas. What do you do there?
a German Christmas.
Just Google German Christmas market. Like the entire town. It's like Oktoberfest rolls directly into German Christmas markets from October till the end of December.
But are you doing the same thing, just drinking beers?
Yes,
and
but everything's
eating?
like dressed like a gingerbread house. Everyone's like the whole town's dressed in lights and gingerbread house, and everyone just walks around like this raccoon drunk. The clearly intoxicated raccoon startled shoppers in Erfurt, Germany, after drinking some mulled wine left in everyone's glasses. Probably like just everyone just like they leave their glasses around. So the raccoon got hammered. And in fact, there were videos of the raccoon wandering around and fucking with women's shoes before it just passed out in front of a building.
Had a foot fetish.
That's awesome.
Pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
Wrong.
Good night for
the
a
raccoon was soon after shot and killed by a local hunter. That story's over.
Jeez. A lot of twists, a lot of bad twists for you guys today.
That story's done.
Come get your news at Hard Factor.
All right, let's end it. This one comes from Joey. Joey0807. Thank you, Joey. A 9-year-old boy prodigy, Laurent Simons, who was attending...
Simmons.
Was attending / forced to attend Eindhoven University of Technology, or TUE, in the Netherlands, and was expected to graduate with a bachelor's in electrical engineering, has dropped out like a little loser. Pat and I can relate to that, right, Pat?
You finished, didn't you?
I did. But I did drop out once before I finished.
So you threw me out on a limb and then
I
walked
did
out.
finish. The reason he dropped out
Why'd you do that?
is because the university delayed his graduation date from December of this year to mid-2020, and that really chapped the asses of Alexander and Lydia, the boy's parents. The university stated that the amount of exams the boy would have to pass in order to graduate in December was basically insane, even though him graduating just 6 months later would still be incredibly fast, even for a normal-age prodigy. The real reason for his departure is that the university over here in the States offered him admission into a doctorate program instead, so the ambitious little fucker is going to take that offer instead of finishing up at TUE.
Someone's got to kill this
What
kid.
was Neil Patrick Harris's TV show?
Doogie
Howser.
Howser. Someone's got to kill this kid.
Yeah.
This kid's
9-year-old
9.
going to a doctoral program. Someone's got to kill him.
The kid hasn't ejaculated. He's in college.
It's very dangerous.
He is
Also, had they checked him for circuits? Like, is he a cyborg?
Good call, Will. Hey, Will.
We're getting to this
Great
point
call.
in human history.
I don't like it.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
like it.
I hate this
like
type of shit. So the family isn't going to name the university he will be attending here until his PhD is complete.
'Cause I'll find
As
him.
his father, Alexander, said, quote, "We don't want to have pressure on him, other than forcing him into the limelight for being a genius and forcing him to take the offer to speed up his life by 1,000 times."
Why don't we kill this kid, take his brain and DNA, figure out what's going
Eat
on,
it.
speed a few idiots up, and slow a few of these kids down?
Yeah, meet us in the middle.
You should run
Right.
for office, Mark.
That's what I'm saying. This kid needs to be taken.
That's right. All right, let's wrap it up. That's going to do it for Hard Factor. Hey, we are really close to those 3,000 reviews on iTunes. We appreciate that, along with everyone that took the time to write some kind words. It really helps us, so thank you. Let's keep it rolling and try to reach the goal by Christmas. It's the only gift we want. I mean, if you want to, you could purchase some merch too, but no biggie. Keep sending us stories. We love the interaction with you all, so thank you again. And most importantly, have a great fucking day.